My name's Andrew Patterson. I'm head of GRC Consulting at IT Governance Europe. And on the 22nd of October, I'm hosting a session on risk assessments. So this is designed for anybody who works in risk, people like risk managers, compliance officers, or people who are actually interested in getting into how you do a risk assessment. Risk assessments are things that some organizations can find complicated, difficult to do, time consuming. So the idea of the session or the workshop will be to give you the tools and the understanding of what you need to do to conduct a risk assessment. So we'll be looking at things like identifying risks, thinking about assets, thinking about scenarios. We'll talk about things like threats, things like vulnerabilities, and the idea of how you bring all of these together to actually understand what your risks are. We'll also spend some time talking about risk treatment. So what do you need to do to these risks to bring them to a point where it's acceptable for your organization? So the first half of the workshop, we'll be looking at all these things, and I'll be talking about all these principles, risk assessment, risk acceptance, all these different things which you need to do to do a risk assessment. I'll then, using our Cyber Comply tool, show you how you conduct a risk assessment. There's many tools and many ways of doing this out there, but it will show you the principle of the sort of things that you need to do. And we'll particularly pay attention to how you might use standards like ISO 27001 to conduct a risk assessment and ensure that you are meeting and bringing those risks into a point where it's acceptable for your organization. So at the end of the workshop, you'll understand what you would need to do to conduct a risk assessment, understand potential threats, vulnerabilities, impacts and likelihoods. And this will then enable you to develop your strategy to how you are going to deal with risks. So the date for your diary, 22nd of October, and looking forward to seeing you then.